You know, when I look back at my overall trajectory of Tower of God Season 2 thoughts, there was a good period that I truly was like, it's never going to be the same, is it? And it was always frustrating too, because upon the initial release of Season 2, people wrote it off before even giving it a shot. And I can go back to my videos, it's a track record of I was good with it at start, and then eventually my excitement dwindled and then it kind of crashed. But I said, hey, I like the show enough, I want to see it through. And throughout many different opinions, when I was positive at the start of the season, people told me I was a shill, just shilling it out for the sake of it. And then when I started hating on it, according to people, I think I just had criticisms, not really hating on it because I was still trying. I was told that I was just going with the flow. It's been a very interesting cycle covering the show, to say the least, but really my opinions have been I love Tower of God, was really excited that it came back, and to be honest, my excitement at the beginning probably was, what clouded some of the issues that really Core 1 had, and then it really just crashed for me. But as I've said consistently, Core 2, it has a potential, and if you would have told me 8 weeks back that I would be saying that I am enjoying Season 2 as much as Season 1, I would have backhanded you. And if you were through a computer screen, I would have called up your dad and told him to not come home with the milk. But I unironically mean this, and I know not many are going to agree. That's okay. Adaptation quality, production. Season 2 is great. It is. It has its issues. A lot of them. But the enjoyment I've had, and this is the big thing that I think some people miss, despite my many issues with how characters and plot points were presented in Core 1, the only reason the payoff is good here is because of what came before. Core 1 should have been better, but Core 1 was still needed. And I gotta be honest, I'm damn excited for Season 3 if we get one. And currently, I enjoy Season 2 as much as I was by the end of Season 1. Shoot me. I got those full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my full and good thought to any of this Tower of God. And goddamn, does it feel great to be able to say this proudly. This Tower of God greatness, it's over there exclusively. So, I've had issues with character designs in this show. As you all know, I think that Bumblebee character is the worst goddamn design thing I've ever seen. But I think a part of the charm of Tower of God is that there's no consistency with how characters look. You're going to have a giant gator, you're going to have a Bumblebee man, and you're going to have the most average looking fightware or the most complex. It's part of the charm, and I accept that. Beta's design, I love it, to be honest. It's stupid. I've pointed it out. His hat looks like Super Meat Boy. His hat is Super Meat Boy. It's I don't know what it's supposed to be, but that's what it looks like. And his face says Beta B. People have been memeing it since he's been introduced that he's Beta bitch. It's dumb at face value, but somehow he pulls it off. And I honestly mean it. And this probably is an issue with Tower of God because there's been characters who are supposed to be like some of the strongest in the universe of Tower of God. And they don't really feel that menacing. And yeah, that's an issue and I think is worth criticizing. But I ain't gonna deny, Beta has legitimately the most intimidating aura of anyone we've seen that we fought this season. Shoot me. And I'm okay with that because I legitimately enjoy his character, and I especially like the emotional story that they added to it, which kind of ties together his hatred towards, of course, Bam, and, what they end up doing with this whole, basically, test subject at the end of the day. And the intro shot of him walking up to stab our boy, with some of the most badass music and presentation choices imaginable, it was metal as hell. Do I have questions about the biology of people in this world? Of course. Granted, I'm the type of person that, as long as it's consistent, I don't care if it massively goes against our own logic in our world. So what I mean, Lyman got skewered through his heart. That was a heart shot. And the entire episode, he's just bleeding out and he's fine. He's even cracking smiles. Now, realistically, should he be dead in our world? Yes. But am I willing to say that in the world of Tower of God, biology be built a little different? Yeah. The only time I'd have an issue with that is if, come Season 3, someone got a similar stab wound with a similar power level, and they just immediately died, you know? Like, at that point, I'd be like, well, that's inconsistent. But as long as I mean, hell, Bam got skewered and fell down a hole. My assumption was he just had good medical care right then and there. Turns out, yeah, that helps, but I guess they built different. I'll accept it. It makes me raise an eyebrow, but I'll accept it as long as they remain consistent with damage in the show. But overall, Beta's fight was cool. Like, he essentially has a stand. He summoned, and I mean this, I'm saying this with my full chest. His stand electric thing that he summoned was the coolest thing I've seen all season of Tower of God. That shit was awesome. And the fact that, too, it sounds stupid at face value, but him turning it into a giant foot to stomp on people is cool as hell. Everything about him, from his character design, his personal story, his fight style, was freaking cool. And his pure hatred for Bam, you know, of course for Bam, he's pretty much like, hey, like, I'm not the enemy, Fug is. But then you look at it from his perspective and all the hell he went through, basically experimentation, and it feels like, you know, it's all because of Bam or all for him. And it's like, you understand where he's coming from, but you understand where it's kind of like a game of telephone of, you know, not really understanding the full message and being manipulated to hating the wrong person. And to be honest, when that woman was first introduced, drawing a blank on her name, but essentially the mother figure to our boy Kang, I initially thought we were building up fairly quickly into her doing some messed up shit. And instead, we're actually doing some nice stuff right now, so that's nice. Unless that's a different character and I'm completely misremembering, but I don't think I am. Either way, it's not developing in the exact predictable way I thought they were going to, and that has me pretty excited for the future of not only, you know, what next episode's going to do for its season finale, but where a season 3 story could go, right? Because this is some good stuff, and at the end of the day, they had some emotion. The fights are way better. Would I still prefer if it looked more like something like Solo Leveling? Sure, I wouldn't. If you offered me Season 3 looking more like Solo Leveling or continuing on what we have here, I'd pick option A. But I do generally enjoy, and something I have noticed, especially in recent weeks, the overall art consistency, just the general character models and how they look, not moving around, does generally look sharper and more detailed than most of Core 1. I don't know what it is, but recently there's been some anime, whether it's Tensura Season 3, Tsukimichi Season 2, Tower of God Season 2, somehow the second halves of the season are looking and functioning better than the first half, which is the complete opposite of what always happens, but hey, I'll take it. You let me know what you thought down below. What do you think of Beta's character? Do you like him as much as me, or do you think he's a beta bitch? Your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Jenny Stiegel, John Kelly, Christian D. Ruffy, Charlotte, Matt Barker, Cal853, Xenogod, Mario Jacob, and we also have Aiden JD. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. We'll see where this all wraps up next week. Have a good one.